Anyways, we got Javante Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I'm not talking about a fight. It hasn't been announced. Actually, I don't think it's ever going to happen. I may be wrong. Who knows? But we got Tank and Shakur Stevenson with a war of words right here. So, as you can see, he says, "Stay blessed, little sis." Javante Davis actually says, "You're not, and you just stay all that." And I don't know what the hell he was talking about. So basically, Javante Davis is basically telling Shakur Stevenson at the at the top, that Shakur Stevenson was just gonna be acting fake, acting tough, and if they ever did fight, he would try to dap him up. And he says, "F him." Shakur Stevenson is just saying that, he just wanted to test himself versus Tank. I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory on this fight that's never going to happen. This is a long book, and it's the 100,000 million chapter in Javante versus Shakur Stevenson wishful thinking that us boxing fans have wanted. So, Shakur Stevenson, we all know he's been a unified champion, 3 divisions. Javante Davis is actually a 3 division titleist. World titles, he's only really won one. He's been elevated twice. These two is kind of been a mythical matchup, to say the least, because of one side of the street versus the other side of the street. We've had so many different debates amongst groups of boxing aficionados or whatever you want to call it, but it just seems like this fight could never get announced and it could never push forward. And the reason being is, I really don't know. Some people say Tank is afraid of Shakur. Some people say Shakur is clout chasing. Others may say that, it doesn't make any money. There's money talk. There's splits. There's just so many things that happen when it came to this back and forth, and it's even caused Javante to delete his Twitter account. I just don't know. It's really been exhausting. So, in the future, we have Shakur Stevenson. There's been rumors that he's going to be going up against Teofimo Lopez. He's going to be jumping a weight division to go to 140 to test himself. For Javante Davis, in about 4 weeks, he'll be fighting Jake Paul in an exhibition match. This is not an officially sanctioned bout. We don't know what to expect in this Jake Paul and Tank saga, but what I do know is that the boxing world is not pleased with Tank. And if I was his advisory team, I would have told him to stay away from social media, especially Twitter, when it comes to this fight with Jake Paul. Reason being is that you already have the boxing world upset that you didn't rematch Lamont Roach, right? I personally think that Tank and Lamont was actually called correctly. It was a draw, in my opinion. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. But you got the boxing world upset. Everybody here really doesn't want to see you fight Jake Paul, especially when, if you really did pay close attention, Tank told everybody that he was going to call somebody out. And if you had looked at the pay-per-view when he fought Lamont Roach, there was only one fight. Well, there were 2 fighters in the crowd that the cameras had focused on. One being Shakur Stevenson, and the other wasn't actually a fighter. It was Jake Paul. And when Tank had revealed that the fighter had visited him in his locker room, it turned out that Jake Paul was the only person that had paid him a visit in the locker room. So when he had us all in anticipation that he was going to be the one fighting Jake Paul, everybody was just kind of upset because we thought that Shakur was going to be the guy that he went and actually sought out. Or even a Devin Haney. But we didn't get that. We got what we're about to get, the circus. And I'm also disappointed about the undercard. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's just very underwhelming, in my opinion. But when you look at this and you see this back and forth here, and you see the actions, it kind of begs you to ask, does Tank really want to go on and keep pursuing the sport of boxing? Tank has made it very clear that he's not chasing undisputed. He's not chasing the record books. And he's not actually chasing greatness. He's told us plenty of times that, hey, there's nothing more he needs to do. Too many times he's told us that his career was really predicated on making money for his family, and I can't even knock him for that. If that's what you want to do, by all means, my brother, go ahead and make your money and get out of this sport with all your faculties, with your thoughts straight, so that you could provide for your family and you could ultimately stay out of the harmful eyes of the law. Now, when it comes to Shakur, he wants all the smoke with whoever. And if the talks do come to fruition with him going up against Teofimo Lopez, it's just going to be adding, more to his legacy, especially if he's able to win and to take Tio's title. But to sum it up, I really don't think that these two are ever going to share a ring unless someone can come up with the dough in order to entice Tank to get in the ring with Shakur. I think it's going to take a large amount of money, similar to what it took to get Canelo in the ring with Terrence Crawford, even though that wasn't a fight that we asked for. We really wanted to see Canelo versus David. Shout out to Bud. It's really going to be interesting to see what the aftermath is after this spat right here. The boxing world, even I've seen Tank supporters, change their tune. Guys that when the Jake Paul fight was announced, they were, oh yeah, Tank is doing this for his career. He got the right, he getting the bag. Who cares about the Shakur fight, this, that, and the third? We don't need the da-da-da. You guys got to remember, y'all not making the money. Tank is making the money. So, when you see this and you see Tank delete that, man, it's just a bad look. And it really leaves a sore on the sport of boxing, because this is a fight that I feel like could have rejuvenated the sport, added more life to it, actually, because we just came off of Bud Crawford and Canelo, which was a great fight. And then we could have got the announcement and it would have just had everybody in anticipation for what's to come, because we also got the card in Riyadh season. Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr. You got Better BF's comeback, David versus Anthony Yard. So it really would have put the pressure on these guys to show up and show out. But I don't know. But we're just gonna have to see what the turnout is. I'm gonna make an early prediction. Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul will end in a draw. There will be no winner. There will be no knockout. So for all of you people that are trying to hedge your bets, don't waste your money. It's not that type of fight. It's just for entertainment.